In case you missed it, I'm back in school. Here's a little recap of that information.
I have incredible news to share with you. I'm going back to school. The amount of happiness that I felt, I was gonna be able to be back in a classroom, doing homework, the whole shebang. The idea was exhilarating to me. Konnichiwa, Kojo sensei, konnichiwa.
That's pretty much the gist of it. I've actually gone back to take Japanese classes, and for the last month, I vlogged my classes, my study sessions, my homework. But first, let me tell you a little bit about the class structure. In the first half of the class, we usually learn new vocabulary every single week. Our teacher will usually pop up pictures related to this word and have us use Japanese to explain it. Next up, we learn new grammar rules. The teacher will explain the rules, and then we will practice the grammar via PowerPoint. Then we move on to reading the textbook. We read some examples of the grammar rules, and then we do the textbook practice problems. We also are sent worksheets in advance, and these worksheets are what we use for pair practice. So we are split up into pairs, and it's our job to use the new grammar rules and translate the English into Japanese sentences. This is surprisingly a lot harder than you think it would be. Then we get a 10-minute break that's often more like 6 or 7 minutes. Then we learn a new set of kanji by practicing on a whiteboard, and Sensei also prepares different combinations of kanji that have been learned in the past to allow us to practice our knowledge. Finally, the class usually ends with a free conversation on a specific topic. Sometimes it's about your weekend plans, sometimes about travel, and all in all, the class is just about 2 hours long. Now let's jump into the vlog over the last month.
It is currently 5:38 p.m. My class starts at 6:45, so we have a tiny bit of time. I really wanted to run to the store and see if I could get some cute school supplies and stuff, but since I don't have time, I'm just gonna make do with what I have today. And I actually have this really good notebook that is from Muji that we got in Canada. This kind of ugly pen mark right here, so I'm going to just cover it with a sticker. Maybe this one. Look how cute this one is. These are little pencils that I got in Japan. This is the textbook that I am using. It's like $40 at Kinokuniya, which is pretty expensive. I think we're starting on chapter 15, so perhaps I should review 13 and 14 before. Here are the main characters in this book. We have Mari, Mary, Jong, Sora, Yui. Perhaps I shall read through this so I don't end up too behind. Hanashimashou ka. 今日店に来られますか? Can you come to the store today? There's a translation on this side. I didn't even realize that. It's kind of fun to study. I feel like I can just forget all my adultly responsibilities and study this. I'm gonna highlight the sentences that I feel like I wouldn't have known necessarily by myself. And then the best way to practice kanji is to just continuously write them down. Oh my god, my kanji is so rusty. I don't think I've had to write in a very long time. Here we have a lot of text and words. I'm gonna go through and highlight the ones I do and don't know. Oh, the issue is that I know these words, but I don't know the kanji, so I need to slowly learn those. But okay, here's the ones I don't even know. Gaikokugo, kouko. Kouko is high school. No? Kuko, not Koko. Not me reading it wrong. That's airport. Okay, this is how much I've done so far. It's been 20 minutes. I think I'm gonna call it a day.
I have to go to class.
I'm so tired. My hand hurts from writing.
Miki-san, is this your first time to join an intermediate class?
Yes, I talked to the principal yesterday and she recommended I join this class.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. Okay, I didn't check the roster today, so okay. That's fine. Okay, let's start the class. 皆さんこんばんは。Please explain your Japanese background.
はじめまして、ミキと申します。日本で生まれたんですけど、3歳の時アメリカに引っ越し来て、小さい時は補習校ちょっとだけ行ってたけど、今はもうほとんど忘れてるから、今年、日本語をもっと習いたいんです。
Are you surprised by this class? Was it harder, easier, or appropriate. It sounded appropriate.
I mean, I think it's a little hard for my liking. Yeah, it's very worth the money, and there's only 5 students, but one of them is on vacation, so there's only 4 of us for the next 2 weeks.
It would have been 3 if you didn't join the class. I love how she made you introduce yourself and then nobody else introduced themselves.
Yeah, so I have no idea. I just don't want to like hold them back because I didn't study the same material they did. You know, like I know conversational stuff, but I don't know.
I don't think you're holding people back.
But the issue is that I can have a conversation, but I don't know like the vocabulary words. Like,
but you
like today, like the word insurance kept coming up, and I'm like, I've never once in my life ever had to say the word insurance in Japanese. So like,
but now you know.
No, I still don't know. I gotta go look it up.
What did you have on the right side of your screen?
I had Google Translate the entire time because I was so stressed. But I was like, she's going in the same order for a lot of them, but then randomly she would call on me like and skip one. Can you feel my heart rate?
So that's like how surgery feels.
Can you please? My baseline is like 50, so
it's like 70.
That's a lot. I think I need to start spending more time just listening to Japanese TV shows and like learning in my sleep instead of learning in my awake time, because clearly that's not gonna work. Honestly, I got obliterated in that first class. It's currently a Sunday. My next class is on Wednesday, so I have a couple of days, and I just got this, it feels a little intense, but I know it's like out of kindness and goodness, email from my sensei that says basically like, you need to review all of this and like make sure that you are up to par so that you're going to be able to participate in the class appropriately. And so I am printing out all of these and making myself a little binder folder so that I can review all of this vocab. Even though I can speak Japanese, there are a lot of just like foundational things where my gaps are kind of all over the place. It's not necessarily like one specific level or one specific portion. It's just like tiny gaps everywhere, so I basically need to just fill them all. It's kind of like if you have a barrel and there are holes all over, I'm basically going back and trying to patch all the holes in the barrel instead of just buying a new barrel altogether, which would be starting from the beginning. I'm just trying to find the holes to patch. So I feel a little overwhelmed, if I am honest. I just printed out all of the stuff that I need to review before my class, which is in less than 48 hours. I would say that's quite a decent amount of stuff, so we should probably get started. We start by trying out stationery that I brought. This is the Pilot Highlighter in Pastel. You're supposed to be able to erase the highlighter, which I don't know if I believe, but this thing was $20, so it better be able to. Y'all see that? It's currently highlighted. There is an eraser on the back. We're gonna go ahead and try it and see if it... Whoa! It does work, but it do be smudging the rest of this text, so I don't know that it's like the best thing to use. Bring back the old study habits and the way that I used to do things, but basically I'm gonna take a vocabulary list, take a fresh sheet, and I try to write down from memory. So in one column there is the hiragana, and then the like translation in English characters, and then finally there's the actual translation. But I'm gonna look at the translation and see if I can figure out what the Japanese word is, and if I can, then I won't highlight it, but the ones that I cannot, I will highlight, which will probably be almost all of them. Here's all of the things that I have highlighted that I don't know 100% yet. So before I like make a cheat sheet for what I don't know, I'm gonna go through all of these and see if there's any that I can regurgitate right away, then I will cross them off the list. Now I'm gonna go through and actually highlight the ones that I actually do not know now, because those need to be written down. Kaiwa to tango, nope, don't know those. Let's highlight those. The studying hair is back. Today is day 2 of class. It is currently, I have been studying quite a bit today. I have class literally in an hour, and everything in green, I still don't know and am about to get grilled on. Like, I know I'm gonna get grilled on it, but I literally can't. My brain can't. It's been a while since I've experienced this kind of stress, because studying stress is a very different stress than like life stress, which is very different than work stress. I don't want to do a poor job, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. Okay, it is D-Day. We have 2 minutes until class. I'm gonna have Google Translate pulled up next to me so that in the off chance something comes up, I can Google Translate it. Tell me why I feel so nervous to take a class that I signed up to pay for. I don't know, I guess I'm just scared of like disappointing the teacher and disappointing myself and everybody in the process.
Listen, very good, okay? So this is a school, okay? This is something you know. Okay? So this time, you're kind of mumbling to yourself, okay? So you have to end with the in desu ga, okay? Alright, so the example says that you want to live in Japan. So first you just translate that sentence. 日本に住みたいんです. So that's what you're saying, okay? 日本に住みたいんです.
I feel stressed. Do you guys see this huge pimple? It's definitely from studying for this class. It was not as bad as the first week. I think I'm definitely learning slowly.
Neko.
Slowly but surely.
Neko.
Good morning, friends. It is currently January 31st, aka the last day of January. We almost made it through the entire month of January without a little mentee bee, but this morning I woke up, everything was not feeling good, and then also today's Wednesday, which means I have Japanese class, which normally would be fine and fun, but I haven't studied all week, if I'm honest, and so I have a lot of stuff to catch up on, and because the class is very small, I get called on like every other sentence, and so I need to really be very competent. I'm not even in like a full-time program, but it's just one class is added stress on top of, like, it's not like I've subtracted any of my adult responsibilities for work, for content. Here's all the vocabulary words that I need to learn for today. Not only do I have to learn like the word, how to say it, but I also have to learn how to write the kanji and the bihua, like the order in which you write each of these characters. And then in addition to that, we do have grammar sheets for every chapter. I will say the pace of the class has slowed down a little bit because the first 2 weeks we basically did an entire chapter for week 1 and week 2, and that's because those are chapters that they had already learned, but for me they were new. And now we're doing a chapter every 4 weeks, which is much more reasonable. So I printed out all of the vocab from chapter 1 through 16. So far I am up to chapter 5. Every week I try to go through and just like practice different vocab and writing so that I can get the hang of it all. The number one way to memorize something is to use something called active recall. So if you can actively recall it from your memory, then you probably actually do know it. Whereas when you read something off a sheet of paper, you will think that you know something when you really don't. President of a country is 大統領 首相と大統領. It's hard because you have to say it with like the Japanese characters. You can't just say it in English. So knowing exactly which characters are being translated is sometimes a little hard. Dormitory is 寮. Don't know that super well. Difference is 違い. This section is a lot more pink than I anticipated. Class is about to start. I'm gonna light a candle because I need a little de-stressing moment. It's really so frustrating when I'm struggling so hard in my class. And look at this one. All I see when I look over here is just her sleeping in 365 different positions. Oh, thank you for the yawn, Lily. And thank you to my most trusted companion, Lucky, for always sitting right by me the entirety of class. He has to sit through all 2 hours of it. I do wish there was more time to just have conversations and things, because I feel like the most important thing is to be able to hold a conversation and to be able to talk to other people. 日本語を習うことはちょっとだけストレス溜まってるけど楽しんでいます。もっと日本語を喋られる友達がいるんだったら練習できれば上手になれましたと思う。